What's up, everybody? It's the Warrior of Light, and we just recently got some information about Season 3 that I'd like to go over, give you my thoughts, show you what some of it is. Some of it we already know, but this is just in a little bit more detail. And I'm excited about Season 3. It'll be interesting to see some of the changes concerning some of the accessories is the only concern, but there's some stuff in here that I actually do like, and we're going to go over right now. So this is... the stuff, you don't need to worry about that. Alright, so Season 3, I guess, Season 1 we had the Rise of Shinra, Season 2 we had Dominate the Sky, and now in Season 3 we have Highway Star. Okay. As far as the Machinist class, never been a crazy big fan about that in Final Fantasy games. Definitely not in Final Fantasy 14, that's not a class I played. I'm not as excited about this one as I was Dragoon, and we'll probably only level it on teams, so we'll see. So here it is, the new map. So fight in matches of up to 60 players in the Plateside, so there's going to be a little less players, because it's probably going to be a smaller map, which is what I'm looking at here. It looks like a little bit of a smaller map to me. The cool thing is, it looks like the map changes every 30 minutes. So we'll go from Undercity to Plateside and Undercity to Plateside back and forth every 30 minutes. If you play for an hour, there's a good chance you'll have an opportunity to pop in between both maps. Personally, I'm very curious about this new map. I want to know if there's going to be chocobo stops, you know. There's going to be new things to look for. And I'm curious if the old map is going to be updated, because there's some other stuff in here. We got the times for everything. This is according to UTC, which I'm PST, so I'd have to type this into Google and figure out. But I believe I am 7 hours behind. So if it's saying 1 UTC, I will be playing in the Undercity on a ranked match. Do a little math here. What would that be? 6 p.m. my time. So if I log on 6 p.m. at night, then I'm going to be playing in the Undercity if I match during that time. And it says the above times might not reflect the actual schedule, so I guess this could change. And screenshots are of in development map, which is interesting because we're going to have it in a couple days. So I'm curious how it will change from what I'm seeing right here. And looking at the size of the dot, that does look like a significantly smaller map. It'll be interesting, and I'm wondering if you see the little circle, if it's looking at and facing a reactor, and that might be where the guard scorpion is. I'm excited to explore the new map, being Plateside. Some of us already know about this, but apparently we can fall from the plate, leads to death. Okay, I want to trick somebody into coming onto my chocobo with me and then jumping Yoshiing my chocobo into that area and having them lead to their death while I ninja double jump and then blade shift my way out of there. That would be hilarious, and I'm going to totally try it. Trick someone to get on my chocobo and kill them that way, just because it'd be funny. There are Mako pools located in certain areas that cause damage. If you're a fan of Final Fantasy, you might be familiar with this, like the lava floors and ice floors in Final Fantasy 1. And we had the same thing repeating in Final Fantasy 4, and I think again in 5, where you'd have like floors that damage you, but you can have like float magic to where it doesn't really hurt you. But that's interesting. Mako pools that can cause damage, maybe like a bio tick or something. New enemies, which is something I'm always going to be a fan of. I'm kind of sad we lost the old security officers, but that's okay. These new security officers might be pretty fun. They're going to attack with a submachine gun. They might move even in the same manner. I remember that was one thing about the security officers for the 25th anniversary event. They were actually kind of hard to shoot because they would actually strafe back and forth, and they do it pretty quick. And I guess so there's going to be soldiers that attack with submachine guns, but there will be a boss with an icon even above their head that will shoot the shotgun. And I'm guessing it'll be the same icon we've had in the past, like the little crown to let us know which one drops the data pieces. And we're going to have guard dogs, which will be fun. Attack at close range, beware of its quick attacks. That reminds me of the man with a mission event, probably going to have, if these are both in the same area, the guard dog up in our face trying to avoid that little guy, and then, of course, the security officer shooting at us at a distance. It'll all be interesting. New style. Creates numerous kinds of gadgets, making it an adaptable and highly mobile style. Yeah, the Machinist, again, probably only going to level this up on teams, but I know some people are excited. And this is interesting, because it has 1, 2, 3 abilities, traits, and skills. Which, just to refresh your memory, if you're not familiar, the trait is what the job... Well, let me back up. Back up. Go. So the trait is what they have. It's an ability that does not change. So I guess I kind of don't like the way this slideshow is set up, because I'd rather start with the trait. Okay, this is something that will not change. So they have support gear. Destroying a gadget creates support gear for 120 seconds. Well, I guess that does make sense that I win that order, because this is the gadget, the gadgets, the air gadget and the jamming gadget. So these are the 2 gadgets that you can have. But if you destroy one of those, then I guess that's the trait, is that destroying that gadget creates a support gear for 120 seconds. Damage decreased by 3% per gear. Damage reduction under 1 is rounded down. Does not reduce damage from hazard zone. Using a skill consumes support gear. Interesting. So the player can have up to 3 support gear. Shooting would be red, healing green, blast yellow. Color changes depending on skill. Now this is what I'm confused about, is how do we activate them? Activates when firing at an enemy. Well, I mean, like, how do you switch between the red, the yellow, and the green? Activates when firing at an enemy within a certain range. Support gear surrounding the player will fire on the enemy, dealing up to 9 damage per shot. So it looks like the red one is shooting. So if you shoot something, then it'll also hit the target as well for additional damage. When HP is decreased to a certain point, a support gear is used to restore 40 HP. Activation conditions vary based on skill level. Okay. And then that's the healing gear. But I'm saying, how are we gonna pick? I wonder, how does it activate which one? Like the healing gear, the blast gear, or the shooting gear? And I don't think the images they sent us cover this yet. This might be something we'll have to learn. But the blast gear, when damage is taken from candidates within 10 meters, a support gear is used to deal up to 20 damage and inflict a 2-second blind effect. That almost seems better than the shooting one. Player will fire on the enemy, dealing up to 9 damage per shot. Okay, maybe not. Never mind. 9 damage per shot. That's actually... I mean, if you're using... Yeah, like an AR or something, that's actually going to be pretty powerful. I don't know, this job might be pretty broken, but I bet that's what a lot of us thought about Dragoon too, so we'll see. So those are the skills, which are still a little fuzzy. Like I said, because it doesn't look like he has all 3 at once, even in these images. You either got the red, the green, or the yellow. So, no clue how we're going to be activating that stuff. Let's go back to the abilities, which these are things that you can choose, and they need to be activated by you. So the first ability is the air gadget. Creates a gadget allowing for impressive mobility. So you can use this to move. It's from everything we know, it's faster. But what's interesting about this, it can jump over stuff. Apparently, jump over containers, but you can actually sacrifice. So this gadget has durability. It doesn't last forever. It has 400 durability, but you can sacrifice 20 durability for a speed boost. Movement decreases durability by 5 per second and self-destructs when it reaches 0. I wonder if that can actually hurt the player on it. Because from what we've seen, you can actually send this thing towards somebody and blow them up that way too, which is interesting. Yeah, you see him jumping it off here and like using it as basically an explosive device. So it has missiles and explosion. I feel like this is a lot for an ability, but I don't know. I also think Red Fist is a crazy trait, so lock onto enemies and launch homing missiles that deal up to 30 damage. We'll see how accurate they are. It looks like it has the same scope as the Infernal Cannon. But it looks like, if you look in the picture, it looks like they're kind of going like this. Like they're arcing inwards, which will be... We'll see how that works and how effective it is at hitting people. Damage against monsters multiplied, so it does more against monsters if you want to use it to farm for experience and gil, and potions and magic. The air gadget will continue moving if dismounted, and will explode, causing heavy damage on impact. Targets in explosion range may take 90 damage, which is interesting, and I bet the shelter ring will reduce that damage. Okay. Next is the jamming gadget. So every class has 2 abilities to choose from. This will probably be the one that needs to be unlocked as you level it, but unleashes a disruptive field with potential to direct a battle. So it extends for 30 meters, but it has hit points, so you can kill this thing. It's pretty weak. 1 fireball at level 3 would destroy it. It only has 50 hit points, but you can also hit it with your melee attacks. Probably 1 combo is enough to seal the deal. Tapping the ability button again will cause it to self-destruct, which I'm wondering if that will also cause damage to a player. So if somebody is trying to sit there and melee your device, you might be able to tap that and cause damage to them as they damage your device, which is like a kind of cool, maybe a little broken. This job's going to be interesting. Effect lasts up to 30 seconds. Candidates within the field are unable to use guns and will take up to 4 damage every 2 seconds. That's crazy. That seems like a very powerful ability, if used correctly. Effects applied to the candidate that used... Oh, so if you're in the circle as well, it applies to you. You also take damage from this thing if you go into that circle. That's interesting. Seems like a broken ability. We'll see. So yeah, those are the traits again. Oh, the skills. So every class has 3 skills. Oh, wait, this is the trait. Oh, now I'm getting it. So this is how we activate the skills. Okay, I got you. So you're going to choose which skill you want. Do you want the shooting gear, the healing gear, or the blast gear? I didn't catch the skills up at the top. So the trait is that this will activate. So it's another thing you'll have to level up and unlock the skills. You'll probably start off with the shooting one. And then as you move on, you'll get the healing and the blast gear. That makes more sense. Okay. So the trait is just you get these things. The skill when you unlock is how you choose which one you want to use when you play. So you won't get to alternate between back and forth. You'll actually have to pick that before you go into the lobby. Okay, that's interesting. New materia. Water. This one's going to be interesting. Especially because it arcs to the left. And look, it has the same lock-on as the Infernal Cannon. They like that. I don't. But what's interesting is it locks on. You see the indicator on the enemy candidate right there? It actually has a lock-on. Which no other materia has. No materia has that lock-on symbol. The only thing that would lock on from this distance like that is like... And that's even too far away. But like a warrior's fearless charge ability. Or trait. So that's interesting that it actually gives a little lock-on indicator. We'll see if it actually does that when we use water. But yeah, it looks like it arcs around to the left. Locks on attacks up to 40 meters away, which, whew, that's quite the distance. Especially flies in an arc, giving it the capability to hit enemies behind cover. So if you're from the opposite direction, it might be good to dodge roll to the right if somebody's trying to hit you with water. You dodge roll to the left and the water might just keep tracking and hit you. And also taking advantage of cover from that direction as well. If you try to hide behind something, remember it's going to arc around right, so if you have something, a wall to your right, you're going to want to be up against that and use that if they're using water. It has 1 MP cost, so this is going to be something that we see used a lot on the battlefield, just like Fire and Blizzard and Thunder. It's low MP cost, so these are the smart players who are going to be using this. No offense, but Teleport, Arrow, and Cure are bad materia because they cost so much. And in a battle, Cure, even level 3 Curaga, it doesn't restore as much damage as you can cause with 3 fireballs. So these low MP cost materia are crucial, and water might be one we see a lot. put into play in the battlefield. I might be switching my third materia to bio. We'll talk more about that later. Increasing level increases number of water orbs. So you might just have like a little bit, but then obviously as there's more damage coming in. One orb deals 20 damage. I don't know, it looks like there's a lot of orbs in there. So it'll be interesting to see the animation again. Size increases by 50% and splash damage range increased when used by Sorcerer. Oh, okay. That's the little trait that the Sorcerer gets. New weapon, Serpent Launcher. I've never been a fan of the specialty weapons. One sec. It gets cold in my house late at night. Okay, so I've never been a fan of any of these specialty weapons. I don't know why I had that on. During all of Season 2, I never really used the Infernal Cannon or the Flare Thrower. I just did not like them, but we'll see how these are. Serpent Launcher. Single shot packs a powerful explosive punch. Maximum range 400 meters, which is interesting because we saw, even in the trailer, how fast this thing traveled. So 400 meters away, that's insane. And damage 100. It looks like it... It's hard to tell. It looks like it only carries 4 rounds, which is good. From all we know from these 2 shots is it carries 4 rounds, which I hope that's the case. Because if this thing has a lot, that's going to be a pretty oppressive weapon. Deals increased damage against vehicles and can destroy a utility vehicle or bike with 1 direct shot. Oh my goodness. Oh, there it is right there. Maximum capacity, 4 rockets. Excluding rocket already loaded into launcher. So you get 5 rockets. If I'm reading that right. Which is good. I like that. Doesn't have a lot of ammo. So you're going to have to make a tough decision. You only get 5 rounds. Do you want to give up another gun to hold on to this thing? That's a good question. And some people we're going to have to figure out, what we want to do with this. New weapon, dual wheeler. This one's a little different though. This one doesn't so much run out of bullets, I guess, because it's an assault rifle with 2 modes of fire. Using 2 MP allows you to change its firing mode into something resembling an energy shotgun. If it's anything like the Polestar, I'm already not a fan. The Polestar is weak sauce. I hate that gun. It's awful. The laser. Single hit damage 29. Firing will reduce its gauge, and when the gauge reaches 0, it will reload. Gauge will refill automatically when not firing, so you don't need to reload it. It'll just start automatically refilling. The beam shotgun is a single hit damage 10. Shots fired at once 11. Oh, okay. So that's like 110 damage if you just get boom, right? Shots fired at once 11. Single hit damage is 10. Capacity 3 shots. After firing 3 times, it will return to laser mode. I wonder if that's a one-time thing or if you can recharge it. Oh, you use the 2 MP. I think I'm understanding this. You use the 2 MP, and boom, you get the shotgun mode. But then you only get 3 shots. So every 2 MP gets you 3 shots of that beam shotgun, which single hit damage, it looks like on the body is 110, but if you got all of that in a headshot, it might completely, I'm guessing, completely kill your opponent, regardless of how much. If they're level 10 with 200 HP, it'll probably still dust them in 1 shot. Interesting gun. Other new features. The accessories. This is very interesting because we heard that the jewel pendant was getting broken down into different accessories. So, something that I said we should do, I said this in Season 1, is like the fire ring and the blizzard ring and the thunder ring would be awesome. Something to make us... I also said elemental materia that we could attach onto other materia, like in the original FF7. But this is cool, because it can reduce the fire, blizzard, thunder ring, just halves the damage from these spells, but it also nullifies some of the effects. So the thunder, if you don't have a jewel pendant on, it will blind, it'll flash bright on the screen and blind you, which is awesome. I love thunder. Blizzard, it'll nullify the slow effect, so if you want to get rid of slow, which you also get when hit by a warrior who's using Threaten. So the Blizzard Ring should counteract that as well. We no longer have a jewel pendant to nullify poison. Instead, we have the Star Pendant. And then we have the Bio Bangle, the Shiva Bangle, the Ifrit Belt, and the Drain Belt. And all of these influence, they basically give our weapons special traits. So with the Bio Bangle, now if you're using a sniper rifle or a handgun, it'll inflict a 5-second poison effect. So for 5 seconds, their HP will tick. Very interesting. Not as powerful as Bio. It doesn't last as long as Bio, 5 seconds, but it still does hit them with that Bio effect. Shiva Bengal, attacking with ARs, which those are my weapons. I use AR, combat rifle, and lethal gaze. A 4-second slow effect. Movement speed reduced by 30. Woo! Which I'm wondering if the Blizzard Ring will nullify that, which I'm guessing it should. Which makes me think the Blizzard Ring and the Star Pendant are probably going to be, from what I'm reading so far, two of the most important accessories, and the ones that I'm probably going to be using a lot is the Blizzard Ring and the Star Pendant. The Ifrit Belt, killing with a shotgun or SMG completely reloads the gun and increases shotgun and SMG damage by 20% for 50 seconds. That's pretty impressive. That's crazy. We'll see if that needs to be balanced in the future, but that's just instantly reloads the gun. What's funny, I think Legit Vocals was talking about how they've made it hard to solo or solo on teams. You might be able to do it now with a shotgun or an SMG, because you have a group of 3 people. If you don't need to reload and then all of a sudden your bullets are dealing more damage because you downed one person, you killed one player, as long as you kill one person on the team, maybe it's a warrior who's rushing in faster than the other 2, you take him down. Not only are you ready to go for the second wave, but your bullets are also dealing 20% more damage. And if it's a quick fight, that's crazy. I also think the Drain Belt's pretty insane as well, because it restores 5 HP per shot landed. The LMG is slightly slower than the ARs, but not by that much. That's gonna be interesting. LMG and the Drain Belt might be a weapon of choice we see in this next season. I see a lot of people trying that out. 5 HP per shot landed, because if you're just standing toe-to-toe with somebody and you're landing shots on them and they're not moving, I mean, you could just sit there and tank out all that damage that the LMG is sitting there restoring 5 HP every single time you hit them. Boom, 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 boom. You know, that's 25 hit points right back to you. Really depends on what they're using and how good of a shot they are. But. And then the Talisman. MP recovery speed increases by 30%. Does not stack with Arcane Field. Oh, that's too bad. But a Talisman, that's interesting. You know, I've been saying I think we need ethers in this game. Potions and ethers would be interesting. It would just force people to have to make more choices with their inventory, and I like that. I like the new accessories. I really do. Because all of Season 1, what did we carry? It was Shelter Ring and Jewel Pendant until they nerfed the Bomb Launcher, and then people started carrying the Cat Spell and the Jewel Pendant. But it's been the Jewel Pendant this whole time in Season 1 and 2. And so it's good to see that people are going to have to start making choices. And you can't have an accessory for everything. You get 2 slots. And it's going to be interesting to see what becomes the meta, if anything does. Or if this just forces people to really make situational choices and just... They're like, well, I'm going to go with this round because I don't know if I'm going to find another accessory, or we'll see which ones become the favorites. Shelter Ring. Instead of the explosion damage nullified, now it's going to be halved, so that's a difference. The Fortune Ring changed items added when opening chests. I feel like this has always been the same, except for now we can get all materia, even epic and above, and legend rarity guns. That's new, I think. Yeah. The Cat Spell is now restores 2 HP every 5 seconds and restores 5 HP every 5 seconds. And that's confusing. I don't know if that stacks. So if it's like 2 HP, and then boom, 5. I don't know. That sounds like what it's going to be. And then the Jewel Pendant and the Lightweight Shoes are gone, which sucks about the Jewel Pendant. It was pretty powerful as far as protecting you against status ailments. But the Lightweight Shoes, dude, good riddance. Who cares? It's such a useless accessory. I never carried that thing. Immediately dropped it. Now there's going to be accessory chests, which I'm curious to see if these are going to show up on the Undercity map. Which means they're going to have to add new chest locations probably. So new attack/defense accessories have a high chance to appear in the newly added accessory chest. New accessories have a lower chance to appear in normal chests. So just the new accessories. The regular ones, I guess, will still have a chance. That's enough on the accessories. We'll see how all that plays out in Season 3. Here's some of the skins from the Battle Pass. Not impressed yet. We'll see. We'll see what the Battle Pass has. None of this stuff is really catching my eye. I think the skins from Season 2 were better. New collection. The little robed, the clone, the reunion clone. That's interesting. I might be interested in getting that one. But hopefully these aren't attached to any kind of purchase, and it's just part of the collection. And so I haven't played the remake yet, so I haven't fought these guys. I'm waiting for that to come out on Steam. Some people know why. There's been an adjustment to aim assist, so aim will be assisted to follow target's movement, most effective at a distance of 30 to 50 meters, and will not function at 150 or more. I don't use autofire, so this doesn't really affect me, but for those of you that do, you're getting a little bit of a buff to your aim assist. Or, I'm sorry, this isn't autofire, it's aim assist. I don't have aim assist on, I have it off. I just don't like it. Camera sensitivity assist. Camera speed slows down when nearing target when aiming down sight. Yeah, ooh, that might help. It seems like a subtle change, but if it slows it down just a little bit for you when trying to help aim in your sights onto somebody, if you're aiming down sights and then now it's even slowing it down as you... That's interesting. It already kind of does that if you have your settings set that way. I have mine set that way where I have different sensitivities for when I'm just looking, when I'm firing my gun, when I'm looking down at my scope. I have different sensitivities for each type of situation. When I'm just moving on the map, when I'm hip firing, when I'm looking down sights. It's all different for me, and I just don't like aim assist. I don't like auto fire. I think you will become a better close range fighter if you get rid of auto fire and learn how to fight without it. It can mess you up when throwing materia. If your auto fire is going off as somebody's coming in close and you're meaning to cast magic, it won't override your auto firing, which is a problem for auto fire users, and that's why I don't like it. Maybe it's better. Master Lodi seems to think it is. I don't know. This is interesting. So we're going to have damage reduction on some of the guns based on the range, which is good. Like the shotgun needed this, I feel like. The SMG, a lot of this I feel like makes sense. The sniper rifle, yeah. I don't have any arguments with this, really. We'll see. I don't really shoot people out past 100 meters, so this doesn't really affect me at all. Maybe this affects other people, but I do like the shotguns out past 10 meters. You start getting a damage reduction. I think that should be a thing, I guess. I honestly don't use shotguns. I don't think they're as oppressive as some people say they are, but the people who are really good with them, I've only fought a couple people who are really good with the shotguns, like Krovax. I don't run into too many other people that use shotguns too often. Verinius does with the ninja and sometimes with his sorcerer, but I guess he's a good shotgun user, but I've never fought him one-on-one, so I don't know. I know Krovax is pretty deadly with a shotgun, but now we're going to be able to overcome shotguns by just trying to keep that distance. If you have an AR, you're going to want to stay at like 30 meters and keep a solid distance from a shotgun user, and you'll be able to put out more damage than they're doing. More bullets. They can't shoot as many bullets, and they have to reload more often. So that's good. I like the counterplay right there to shotguns. And then sniper rifle, you're not too many people are pinging shots out past 200 meters anyways, and it still even says it's 100 to 80%. So it's sometimes you will hit 100%. So I honestly haven't been down by a sniper on solos in so long. I'm not even worried about it. Some balance adjustments to the guns. I don't like that they mess with my lethal gaze. Decreasing my ammo capacity. I don't like that. I know it's a popular gun, but come on, don't mess with the lethal gaze, man. We love it for a reason. Just let us use the lethal gaze. Heavier decrease in damage due to distance than other AR. I don't get that. A heavier decrease in damage due to distance than other AR. Okay, so what this means is, going back to the previous slide, it's an AR, but it's going to have a heavier, when you get out past this 100 to 200 meter range, it's going to have a heavier damage reduction than, say, the combat AR or the Shinra Type B, the combat rifle. So, combat rifle got another buff. I might just be rocking double combat rifles from now on. I use that gun a lot in Season 2. Increased ammo capacity, which is good. The Shinra Type B increased base damage. That is interesting. Because I think it already does more damage than the lethal gaze, but obviously it's a little bit slower. But maybe the increase in base damage will make more people use it. I just don't like having to continually pull the trigger. I just want to be able to hold down and shoot. That's why I don't... I rock it when I can't find a lethal gaze. Just because I want to have a mix of light and heavy ammo. But the Shinra Type B might become a little bit more competitive with the lethal gaze. We don't see Shinra Type B used that much late game. Executioner Gamma, increased base damage, increased headshot damage bonus. I'm curious how high that's going to go. Because I think Executioner Gamma, I think if you get a headshot with the Executioner, what is that, 140 damage? So that'll be interesting. What sucks is at the beginning of the game, you can just completely murk somebody with a Mark V or Executioner, which sucks. You know, somebody gets a lucky headshot off and you're boom, you're done, right at the beginning of the game. Doesn't happen that often, but now it's going to be even. Yeah, I doubt it's going to go up to 200, but if it's up to like 160 or 180, now getting to level 10 is going to be even more important as fast as possible. Mark V base damage increased, but it looks like the headshot damage hasn't increased. I think the Mark V headshot damage is 104, so it might stay there. LMG. We have an increase in damage on the Inferno and the Griffin, which I don't know how I feel about that. I think that's fine. I don't know. LMG is pretty powerful too early game, but not. I don't see a whole lot of people using it late game. And I'm happy about this, dude. Decreased headshot damage bonus, decreased rate of fire. Yes, dude. I love both of these. Eclipse Eater, base damage decreased, ammo capacity decrease in the Wrath Revolver. I love that Shotgun and the Wrath Revolver are both getting a nerf. I love that. I'm fine with that. I really don't care. Sorry if you use them, but the Auto-Fire Wrath Revolver and Auto-Fire Shotgun users, deal with it. That's all I have to say. It is what it is, and I'm happy about it. I'm just kidding. I just have to work around it. You're not going to be able to auto-fire me with your Wrath Revolver anymore. I'm just kidding. It's okay. Auto-fire is fine. Actually, I use auto-fire. When I'm not using my setup at home, I have to switch to auto-fire because I don't have enough fingers. So, Buzzsaw Launcher, firing rate and speed increased. So there's a buff to that. Like I said, I don't really use these special weapons all that much. Flare Thrower and the Infernal Cannon no longer drops. Some people are saying hallelujah right now. They're really happy about the Flare Thrower being gone. I predicted that it would be gone in Season 3. I kind of figured it would be. Ranger Sniper's Eye, Marcus shared with team members. I was curious about this one match because I was asking somebody if it does transfer over to other teammates, and it did not. But that's cool that it does now. Any buff to Ranger's probably good. I feel like they're getting better. The fact that you can see the HP bar when they cast Assess now is very powerful. I think that's good to know. How much HP your opponent has, that's big. So Rangers are very useful on teams. If I can't play Ninja, I play Sork or Ranger. Arrow appearance length decrease. So from cast time to when you see the arrow on the ground, it's been decreased, which a lot of people have been saying that's something that should be done. Comet, again, time between use and comets dropping is decreased significantly. I've always said comet is just some absolutely worthless materia. Nobody's ever killed me with a comet, and it cost 4 MP to use. That thing is absolutely worthless. I've never picked it up. It's the worst materia. I've seen more people kill themselves with it than ever cause any damage to me. I've had people cast Comet and get themselves killed by their own Comet many, many times. Comet's useless. It's bad materia. This is a good buff. It might even need more. For 4, I'm pretty sure it costs 4, doesn't it? 4 materia? 3 or 4. For 4 materia, it's got to be powerful. It's rare. It's hard to get Comet. It should be very powerful and game-changing, but it's not. It's never been. It's awful. It's honestly the worst materia. And even with this, I still think it's bad. Ifrit, we got a buff to Ifrit, which will target enemies the summoner is aiming at. That's interesting. Ifrit's already pretty powerful. I made the mistake of going against Hazard Zone the other day while he had Ifrit out. I was like, there's 4 enemies left. I could just wait until one more person dies and then re-engage. And I was like, I got this. And I was aiming down sights at Hazard Zone. We were going back and forth, back and forth. I was aiming down sights. Thing about aiming down sights is you don't see the little circles on the ground, and his Ifrit took me out. I was like, oh. So, Ifrit's good to use. It's a good distraction. Shiva no longer dropping. Who cares, honestly? Shiva's an awful summon. I bet we'll still have Bahamut in the Undercity, but I'm predicting that we're going to get Leviathan in Season 2 because of the Water Materia and the Serpent Launcher. And it was in FF7 Remake, so they have the assets for it. I'm pretty sure we're going to get Leviathan at some point this season. That's not something they told me. That's just pure speculation. So I couldn't care less about Shiva not being. When I get her, I just cast her and run away. Like, I don't really care. And this is kind of cool. We're going to be able to actually explore the map currently available in standard matches, and monsters will still appear, I guess. We have like an exploration mode. So look, if you look in the upper, if you look above that, it looks like we still have the training mode and the like combat practice mode or whatever, but then we're also going to have just like an exploration mode where it's just PvE, which is interesting. I wonder when it ends. You just quit or something. And then they're finally creating a photo feature, which I already kind of did that. I did a photo mode because I customized a layout that was like, I hit all the buttons. So I already kind of have this, but it's good that now people don't have to go through all the heartache that I had to go through just to have a photo mode. So that's cool. This is another thing I think people are going to be happy about. It'll actually show you where the RP is at for Prime on solos and teams, because everybody's asking, what's solos at right now? What's teams at right now for Prime? Well, now you're going to know. We will know. And it looks like we even have the color of the rewards for Season 3 already. It looks like it's like a orangish color right there, which is cool. So that's a nice little feature. Just to know, well, how much longer do I have to go to Prime? Some people are going to like that. So I think that's it. They sent us some videos, but I think it's pretty much all the same stuff we saw before. I don't think there was anything new in there. Maybe I'm 110% wrong. I'll look at the videos later. It's getting late. I just wanted to get this out, share my thoughts. I'm excited for the new map. It looks smaller, less candidates, probably faster. Well, yeah, I'm assuming it's going to be faster if it's a smaller map and less candidates, which will be good. You might get the Undercity and it might be a 30-minute match, or you might get the Upper Plate and now you're bumped down to a 20-minute match, so it'll go a little faster, which will be nice if you can kind of time it out and see how much time. Blitz mode is going away. A lot of people know that right at the beginning of Season 3. We will no longer have Blitz mode. They'll revamp it. They'll bring it back, and then we'll get to see what kind of changes they make to Blitz mode. So I'm excited about that. I'm continuing on as an ambassador in Season 3, but we also got some new ambassadors. Some old ones left. Some new ones came in, so that's exciting. I haven't been playing as much because I'm Prime, level 246. There's nothing much I can do. I'm Prime on both teams and solos. I have all the titles, all the data. Like, the Man with a Mission event was done like day 1, so not much for me to do. I'm just kind of waiting for Season 3 and trying to get some homework done before that happens. But I look forward to seeing everybody in Season 3 continuing on with us. I'm continuing on. I love this game. I've been having a lot of fun playing it. Been doing a little FF11 on the side, but I still plan on finishing Season 3 on Prime on both teams and solos, as long as we don't get... Unless we get like a rush of new players that are super sweaty and tryhards, and they push me out of Prime. I think I'll always have my Prime on solos, because just no lag issues for me on solos, but teams is typically pretty awful for me when it comes to lag, so I'm excited. Not excited about the Machinist. I'll probably play that on teams. I'll still level it to 60, but I really want to focus on Ninja this season and getting even better with Ninja, especially in solos. I want to up my game, get better at shooting, get better at maneuvering on the field, getting smarter with how I play, and so I'll probably be sticking with Ninja as much as possible on solos. And I made a significant I feel like a significant increase when you look at Season 1 compared to Season 2. My KDR was 7 in Season 1, and then 18 in Season 2, 21 on solos, so it was a huge difference in solo matches. On teams, I have so much lag, it's almost not fair to look at that, but I made some significant improvements. As somebody who's not used to BR and shooters, I think I made some big leaps, and I'm hoping to get up to 21 KDR on solos, so that's the dream in Season 3, but thank you guys for watching. Hopefully some of this information was interesting to hear my thoughts. Let me know what you thought in the comments. If you're not subscribed already, I will try putting out some more content this season, maybe some even guides on how to ninja and just some overall tips on basic gameplay stuff. And yeah, we will see you guys in Season 3 as a highway star. Bye. So I lied. This isn't goodbye yet. I actually looked through the videos, and I think it's important to go over them as well, especially because this kind of shakes up the way water works and gives a little bit more detail on the machinist. So I'm going to go ahead and play the videos and go through those with you guys in this video now. This is post me having gone to the dentist and gotten a cavity filled, so the left side of my face is still really numb, but as legit said, I have a lot of IRL stuff going on, so it's hard to squeeze these videos in, so I'm just going to do it now. I'm not going to wait for the numbing agent to wear off at the left side of my face. So, if I slur my speech a little bit, I don't normally talk like that, but here we go. First up, they give us a clip on the dual wheeler. Here is that in action. We're first going to see the AR shot, so looks like there's 180 rounds in the dual wheeler as an assault rifle, and here's what that looks like. That was pretty powerful and pretty quick. That did 164 damage pretty quick. Some of that was headshots though. Now they're charging it, so it's going to drain 2 MP, and you can see the charge bar just above the purple gun icon. There's a purple charging bar, so you can see how long it takes, and then the little green quarter circle bar right next to the sights, that's actually your ammo for the shotgun, basically. So here's that in action. Boom, 3 shots. Not as much damage as I thought it would do, having read the slide. So I'm fine with this weapon. It's not as crazy oppressive as I thought it was going to be. So it's not that big of a deal to me. Don't know what this little battery percentage thing is over here. I guess that's you. Oh, I'm guessing you press that button and that's how you recharge it with ammo. So the little battery button with the 2 MP above it, you must click that, and I bet that's how you reload it with MP. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Dual wheeler, not bad. The assault rifle, it might be something I might carry. 180 rounds. That's ammo you don't have to carry. So you can carry another gun and have more room for potions and ammo. That's what was always nice about the bomb launcher, so not a bad gun. Next up, this is the Serpent Launcher. So this is, I don't know if it shows us how far away, but if I had to guess, what is that, maybe 40, 50 meters? Watch how fast this thing hits them. So there was like maybe a 1 second delay before I got to the ground. What I like about this, so if you see, if I back it up, there's 5 rounds total. There's 1 in the chamber and 4 additional rockets. And also, once you shoot it, try to pause it just in time. Okay, it looks like maybe 3.5 seconds, which is a very slow reload time, which also makes me happy because it means this weapon's not super difficult, because you can interrupt reload animations by hitting somebody with any kind of knockback damage if they dodge roll out of something that you're hitting them with. So if in between shots they do the 100 damage, sure, but now they have a 3.5 second reload time. Look how long this takes. That was a full ninja melee combo before he was able to reload the Serpent Launcher. So I think this gun is well balanced. I think both of them are. But 2 hits with it without healing will dust you, obviously. 3.5 second reload time. Time to fight back. In 3.5 seconds, you can take somebody with 200 HP down with a combat rifle or a lethal gaze. It's definitely possible. I've killed somebody in that amount of time with 200 HP, no problem. So I think this will definitely be a weapon that's more useful at long distance, especially how fast it flies. Up close, I don't think it's going to be super powerful, because you throw, like I said, if you interrupt them with a fireball or something, then it's going to take even longer for them to reload. We'll see how people use this. It'll be interesting. Next up is the Machinist. So first we got its combo. This is its melee combo. It's a 1-2, just like Sorcerer. 1-2, just like Sorcerer with the knockback. And then here is the limit break. It looks like the Warriors were in which it comes down, but a little bit faster actually. It looks like it's faster than the Warriors limit break. So pretty cool. Some people who think they're going to be doing a lot of melee with this job, I don't know. The thing about Dragoon is it has wide swing, Monk is able to lock on from a little bit further away, and Warrior has the Fearless Charge. So as far as closing the gap, it's going to be hard with the Machinist, but some people know how to work around that. Also, here we go into the gadgets. Just from that, I have to say, crazy good mobility. You can see it's even jumping over some things as it's coming off, almost like a Dragoon glide. So it looks like it was going pretty far and pretty fast with the boost without losing too much of its durability. I also wonder if you're shooting at somebody on this thing, if the little scooter will take damage itself, and if it explodes, if it will do damage to the Machinist who's riding it. That's a good question. So here is an interesting little combo. We actually get to see him shoot the missiles and then launch the air hoverboard basically at these soldiers. So check out this combo. You'll see the missiles, they come in just like I was saying. They kind of arc inwards. Boom. So that was 80 plus 90, so that's 170 damage combo. Pretty powerful. Maybe even more if you get more than those 2 missiles off. But he just took out both of those players. Obviously they're standing still, you know, this is like bots or something that they're testing it on. But a pretty powerful combo. It happens pretty quick. So somebody's at, what is that, level 7 or something, and you hit him with that combo and kills him that fast. That's pretty powerful. So that's the jamming gadget in action. So they're taking damage while they're inside of the bubble. It's not showing that, but they are taking damage. But then they're completely jammed. They can't shoot at all. The only thing they can do is melee and magic. And like I said, the durability of that little gadget could be wiped out with a level 3 Firaga. You know, if you hit it with a Firaga, it'll completely wipe it out. You can try to melee it, but it explodes, I think, upon destroying it. So I don't know how good of an idea melee is. And they can press this little button for the gadget, and it will explode. So if you're meleeing it, and they hit that button, it'll explode and do damage to you. Which will probably be halved by the shelter ring, so. But still, you gotta watch out for that. Next up is the traits, or it's the skill, but it's the traits. So you'll see right there it did 9 damage. That's not coming from the gun. That's actually coming from these little spinning widgets around him, little spinning orbs. So check that out again. You can see the 9s coming out, and that's the little orb shooting. What I don't understand, though, because you can tell with the healing orbs and the like blasting orbs that we're about to see, you can tell when they run out. Those ones that we just previously showed, sorry, that's the Novocaine, they didn't run out. The orbs stuck around the Machinist. Like, watch the healing one. It'll disappear once it heals the Machinist. Boom, 40 damage. It went from 25 to 65, and now we only have 2 orbs. He'll take damage again and heal. Boom, 90. But two out of the 3 orbs disappeared when he was getting that heal. So that's how that works. But also it's kind of weird. The orange ones didn't go away, but the green ones and now the yellow ones will go away. Boom, hit with the counter. Now watch this. This would be a good counter for warriors, monks, any kind of melee class that wants to come in close. This is an excellent counter. Boom, knocked him back. So if a warrior comes in on you and you have this defense up, which might be a good thing to run if you're a machinist, just to have this up all the time if somebody sneaks around you on around the corner, to have this trait set under the abilities. I think it's the abilities. Make sure you have this one so you can counter somebody that might sneak up on you coming close, because that can happen at times. A warrior jumps off his chocobo, now he's closed the gap, hits you, and all of a sudden he's getting a counter strike for 20 damage and getting knocked back, and you can follow that combo up with a fireball. That's pretty good if they're not able to do the aerial recovery fast enough. Okay, now here's water. This video changes everything I said previously about water. Not everything, but you'll see what I mean. This is pretty typical. That's what we've seen, the water arcing around to the left. But look at this. You can already see those little arc arrows showing you that it's heading upwards. You see you got the lock-on feature, somebody's above. Now watch as this candidate moves left and right. It changes the pattern of the arc. To the left, now to the right. So you can actually change the direction of the arc for water, which is way different than what we thought. We kept thinking it was just going to only arc to the left. But it's apparently directional based on which direction you're moving with the joystick. So if you're moving right, it's going to arc right. If you move forward or backwards, it'll arc up. Because even watch as he backs up, it goes back up. Really cool. Now all these are connecting, but the candidates are also standing still, so we don't know how powerful that lock-on mechanic is yet. That's just something we're going to find out later. How easy it is to dodge. Now that was interesting right there too, because it did start off arcing to the left, but it self-corrected and went straight. Check it when you cast it. It's going to arc left and then come back over the top. And still hit the opponent, even though they were moving away and got on top of a building. It looks like as long as you have that lock on, it's pretty good. But like I said, we're going to have to see. Warriors might be able to rush out of it. Ninjas might be able to double jump, dodge roll. We'll see what kind of counterplay there is to this water, because Firaga is powerful. 77 damage is huge. But there's no lock on. You got to kind of guess where your opponent's going to be, or be close enough to where that's not going to matter. With water, it looks like as long as you got that lock on, that's a guaranteed 60, which is going to be more important than wasting. I mean, what do you want to shoot? 2 Firagas and one of them connect, or 2 waters and both of them connect? Where's going to be the highest potential for damage output? I think water is going to be one of those ones that is going to be a strong competitor against fire and Thundaga. I've cycled through on my 3rd materia between Blizzard, Bio, Blind, Raise, Cure. It really depends on what I'm playing. But water might be a strong contender for my 3rd materia slot. We're just going to have to see. That's the end of the clips that they showed us, that they sent to us. I really wanted to go over the clips after I saw them. I didn't know if it was just going to be the same stuff we had already seen in the trailer for Season 3. Apparently I was wrong. There's actually some really good information in some of those clips that they showed. Corrected some of the misinformation that even I thought looking at the slides, because everything we saw from water was it always arcing to the left. That might just be the default. But apparently you can control the arc in which direction you want to go just by moving. So having that wall to your right-hand side is not a guarantee anymore. It looks like you're going to have to, work around it. You're going to have to really, really get behind an object if somebody's got you locked on. Not just kind of partially, because it'll still arc around, but I mean, you probably need to get behind that bad boy to get the orbs to actually completely miss you. So good stuff. I think Machinist has some crazy strong skills and ability with that hoverboard, that combo it did with 170 damage by shooting 2 missiles and then following up with the hoverboard. That's an insane combo. We'll see how successfully people play that. It's hard to tell from all this stuff because people are standing still. This dual wheeler, as far as on the assault rifle mode, like I said, that might be something I might carry. It looks fine. I mean, looks like a normal assault rifle to me as far as the speed and the recoil on the gun. Check this out again. That was very minimal recoil, actually. I know it's not from a very far distance, and they weren't aiming down sides. You know, aiming down sides is even better, but it didn't look like there was much recoil at all. So the dual wheeler might be a very powerful gun. Like I said, with all this stuff, we're gonna see. It's exciting. The new map, everything else that I talked about. The fact that they're keeping the old map, but they're kind of cycling between both. The new accessories. I'm excited to see people like Varenius come out and make videos and show us, hey, this is the new meta, or at least this is what they think is the new meta. I think what they did this time, getting rid of the Infernal Cannon, the Flare Thrower, and breaking down some of the accessories, I think it seems really balanced. I don't know if there's really going to be a crazy strong meta that's going to emerge in Season 3. The Machinist seems a little bit broken, but I'm going to stick with Ninja for the first part of the season, like I said, on solos, just to see how powerful Machinist is. Keep working on my Ninja play, and I might play it on teams. But I really want to see... I want to keep my Ninja and see how powerful Machinist is as I go up against them, and see if it's a new contender against something I hate, like Warriors and Monks, you know? No, I'm just kidding. All right, now for real this time, I gotta go. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was insightful. Hopefully it prepares you for Season 3 in some way. And I hope to do more content like this. Coming into Season 3, I'm finishing up my last semester of Hebrew, which has been kicking my butt and taking a lot of my time. And that's coming sometime during this season, so hopefully we'll have a chance to do some more stuff. But thank you guys for watching. Definitely subscribe if you want more First Soldier content, and I'll keep doing videos like these to help everybody else learn how to play the game a little bit better. I'd like to do a beginner's guide, and especially like a Ninja beginner, intermediate, expert guide, something to show you how I play. But thanks for watching. I'll see you guys all in Season 3.